Ungrateful. The word hit me like cold water across the face. My mother said it so casually, like she was commenting on the weather, right there at the dining table I'd reserved and paid for. The celebration dinner I'd organized. The private room that cost me $600. Around us, my family laughed, clinked glasses, celebrated my brother's promotion, the one I'd helped him prepare for, the job I'd connected him to through my network. And now I was ungrateful. Something inside me went silent. Not angry, silent. I set down my fork, heard it click against the porcelain louder than it should have. I stood, grabbed my keys from my purse. My mother's voice followed me. "Sit down, you're being dramatic." I kept walking. The door closed behind me on their shocked faces. They had no idea what they'd just done. My name is Rebecca. I'm 32, the oldest of three, and for the last 6 years, I've been the person my family calls when things fall apart. It started when Dad's hours got cut and their mortgage payment came up short. Then Mom's medication wasn't covered. Then my brother needed help with tuition. Then my sister's car died. I stepped up because that's what you do for family, right? I covered the gaps. I made the calls. I solved the problems. Quietly, efficiently, without asking for parades or applause. I told myself it was temporary, that eventually things would stabilize. But temporary became permanent, and somewhere along the way, I stopped being their daughter and became their safety net. It didn't start with entitlement. It started with gratitude. The first time, Dad called me crying. They were $800 short on the mortgage and facing late fees. I transferred the money that same afternoon. Mom sent me a thank you card with flowers. It felt good to help. Then it was Mom's prescriptions, $240 a month that insurance wouldn't cover. Then my brother's college application fees, then his first semester shortfall, then his apartment deposit, $1,200. Each time they thanked me. Each time I told myself this was the last time. But the thank yous got shorter. "Can you just handle the electric bill this month?" became a text, not a phone call. My sister's car insurance, my brother's textbooks, Dad's dental work, Mom's cruise deposit, it all became routine. Expected. I started getting Venmo requests without explanation, just amounts and due dates. When I asked questions, I got sighs, annoyance. "We thought you wanted to help." The gratitude disappeared entirely. I became the family ATM, invisible until they needed a withdrawal. And I let it happen because saying no felt like betrayal. The money was just the visible part. What they didn't see was everything else I carried. I wasn't just sending payments. I was researching Mom's medication interactions at midnight. I was calling insurance companies, sitting on hold for 40 minutes to dispute Dad's claims. I was proofreading my brother's resume, 17 drafts. I was co-signing my sister's lease, which meant her missed payments hit my credit score. I planned Mom's birthday dinners, booked Dad's specialist appointments, remembered everyone's anniversaries. My weekends disappeared into their emergencies. My savings account became their backup plan. And somewhere in all of that, my own life became smaller. I couldn't remember the last time I'd taken a vacation. The last time someone asked how I was doing, not what I could do for them. I was the backbone of this family. But backbones are invisible until they break. You don't notice them holding you up until suddenly they're gone. The dinner was supposed to be a celebration. My brother had just gotten promoted to senior analyst at the firm, where I'd connected him with the hiring manager. I'd helped him prep for every interview, edited his presentation deck, even lent him $800 for the suit he wore to the final round. When he got the offer, Mom insisted we all go out somewhere nice. I made the reservation at the steakhouse she loved, the one that required a deposit. I paid it. I also paid for the private dining room, the appetizer platter, the wine Mom ordered without looking at prices. I sat there watching them toast his success, his hard work, his determination. The irony was suffocating. I was celebrating the achievement I'd helped build at a table I'd paid for, with people who'd forgotten I existed beyond my usefulness. That's when Mom said it. My brother raised his glass. "I couldn't have done this without family support," he said, looking at Mom and Dad. "You guys always believed in me." The table murmured agreement. My sister nodded. "We all sacrificed to get here." I felt something twist in my chest. I set down my water glass. "I paid for your interview suit," I said quietly, "and your application fees. And I'm the one who introduced you to Jennifer in HR." The table went still. My brother's smile flickered. "I mean, yeah, but I still had to do the work." "I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying I helped." Mom's fork clattered against her plate. "Why do you always need credit for everything? Can't you just be happy for him?" My father nodded. "This is what family does." "You shouldn't expect applause." Then Mom said it. "Honestly, Rebecca, you're being ungrateful." That's the moment I decided. I was done. I stood up. The chair scraped against the floor, loud in the sudden silence. I picked up my purse, pulled out my keys. My hands weren't shaking. That surprised me. "Rebecca, sit down." Mom's voice had that edge, the one that used to make me obey immediately. "You're embarrassing yourself." I looked at her, really looked at her. "I'm leaving." My brother half stood. "Come on, don't be like this." I walked toward the door. Dad tried next. "We're not done talking about this." "Yes," I said, turning back for just a second. "We are." Mom's final attempt came as I reached for the handle. "Call me when you cool down." I almost laughed. Cool down, like I was the one being irrational. I walked out. Behind me, I heard confused murmurs, someone saying my name. The door closed. "No, call me when you do." I drove home in complete silence. No radio, no podcasts, just the hum of tires on asphalt. That night, I slept 9 hours straight. I couldn't remember the last time that happened. The next morning, my phone was quiet. No texts asking for favors, no calls about emergencies, no Venmo requests. I made coffee and sat on my balcony and did absolutely nothing. It felt strange, foreign, then it felt wonderful. The weekend came, my weekend. I read a book. I went to a farmer's market. I looked at my bank account and watched money stay there instead of vanishing into other people's problems. Tuesday passed. Then Wednesday, radio silence from my family. I knew what they were doing. Waiting. Expecting me to apologize, to come crawling back. I didn't, and the relief was visceral. The first crack came on day 8, a text from my sister. "Hey, quick question." I read it, didn't respond. The question wasn't quick. She needed $400 for her car insurance, due tomorrow. Did I still have that app we used? I turned my phone face down. 2 days later, my brother called. Voicemail. So the apartment complex is saying something about the cosigner needing to verify. Can you call them?" I deleted it. Then Mom. A voicemail that started annoyed and ended confused. "Rebecca, the mortgage company called. There's a gap this month. I thought you were handling it. Call me back." I didn't. My phone kept lighting up. Group chat activity spiking. I'd muted it days ago. Dad's prescription refill, who was managing that. Mom's dentist appointment, who'd scheduled it. The dominoes were falling. And I was watching from a distance, finally breathing. I found out about the family meeting from my cousin Jennifer. She wasn't supposed to tell me, but she called anyway. "They're losing their minds," she said. "Your mom made a spreadsheet." A spreadsheet. Apparently my brother suggested it, trying to figure out what they were missing. Mortgage gap, $800 monthly. Mom's medications, $200. My brother's rent assistance, $400. Dad's car payment, $350. My sister's insurance, $180. That was $1,930 every single month. For 6 years. Someone did the math. Over $139,000. Then they added the one-time rescues, tuition payments, emergency car repairs, medical bills. The number climbed past $175,000. Jennifer said the room went silent, completely silent. My mother stared at the screen. My father put his head in his hands. "Oh my God," my sister whispered. "She was paying for everything." Mom called first. I let it go to voicemail. "Rebecca, we need to talk about this like adults. This silent treatment is childish." not an apology, a summons. Dad texted next. "This is silly, your family, we get past things." Silly. 6 years and $175,000 was silly. My brother tried guilt. "So you're really going to abandon us, after everything we've been through together?" That one made me pick up my phone. I typed carefully. "I didn't abandon you. I stopped allowing you to take me for granted. There's a difference. When you're ready to acknowledge what actually happened, we can talk." I hit send. Then I muted the conversation again. My sister sent paragraph after paragraph. I didn't read them. They wanted me back, but only on their terms. They wanted their safety net restored. That wasn't happening. 5 weeks later, Mom called again. This time, her voice was different, smaller. "Rebecca, I need to say something. I'm sorry. We're all sorry. We took you for granted. We treated you like a bank instead of a person. We didn't see what we were doing until you were gone, and that's on us, not you. I see it now. We all do." Silence. I waited. No excuses followed. No but statements, just the apology. "Thank you for saying that," I said quietly. She waited, maybe expecting me to say it was okay, that I forgave everything, that I'd come back. I didn't. "I need time," I added. "Okay," she whispered. "Okay." 2 months after that call, I agreed to have coffee with Mom. We met neutral ground, a cafe halfway between our places. I came with a list. "If we're rebuilding this, things have to be different," I said. "I'll help in real emergencies, but I'm not the default solution anymore. You need to budget. I'm not co-signing loans. I'm not managing everyone's appointments. Sunday dinners can happen, but someone else organizes them. I'm your daughter, not your financial planner." Mom nodded slowly. "That's fair." Dad was harder to convince. My siblings took weeks, but eventually they agreed. The first few dinners were awkward, stiff, but slowly something shifted. They asked before assuming. They said thank you. It wasn't perfect, but it was healthier. 6 months later, everything looked different. My brother called to tell me about a job opportunity, not to ask me to get him one. My sister handled her own car insurance renewal and actually seemed proud of it. Dad scheduled his own doctor's appointments. Mom started a budget spreadsheet, her own this time, tracking what they could actually afford. They asked before assuming. "Would you be willing to?" Instead of "can you just?" They said thank you, actually meant it. I wasn't the invisible backbone anymore. I was a person, a daughter, a sister. My bank account stayed stable. My weekends were mine. And when I showed up for Sunday dinner, it wasn't obligation. It was choice. The relief wasn't just mine, it was mutual. We were finally family, not a financial arrangement. I learned something important through all of this. Love and boundaries aren't opposites. They actually need each other to survive. Walking away wasn't abandonment. It was the wake-up call my family needed, the one I needed too. Being the strong one never meant being the silent one. It never meant letting people take and take until there was nothing left of me. There's a difference between helping someone and being used by them. Help is mutual. Help is respectful. Help says thank you and means it. Being used feels like obligation, like invisibility, like your worth is measured only in what you provide. I wasn't ungrateful that night at dinner. I was done being invisible, and that made all the difference.